And thanks for putting me up after Nick. That is not fair. A few years ago, I moved to LA. LA, there's so much going on. There's a lot of digital disruption, particularly around Hollywood. So I thought I'd take you through a day in the life of a Hollywood exec. But before we do that, let's get you situated. We'll shortly see a map of California. It's on the West Coast. You'll see there's Northern California. There's a couple of tech companies you may have heard of. Don't worry about the middle bit, nothing there. Southern California, there's Hollywood and a really vibrant tech startup. Now, if we zoom right into that, there's an area that's known as Silicon Beach. And these are some of the top companies there. You'll notice there's a bunch of media companies, there's tech companies, there's transport companies, there's space companies, there's such a variety of industries. And it's a really amazing place to live as well. This was a photo I took on a hike the other weekend. That is literally Silicon Beach and what it looks like. It's amazing. So, now we're situated, let's have a look at a day in the life of a Hollywood exec. First of all, we get up late. We get up about 9 hours later than most of you, so we're a little bit sleepy, and we need to catch up on the news. So I get up and I ask Alexa very nicely to tell me what the news is. So as Nick said, audio very important. So I say, Alexa, tell me the news. And as you can see, Alexa's in the bathroom. It's the only place I'll have an Alexa or any of these smart devices, because I do not trust you tech people to not be listening into the rest of my conversations. Now, once I'm showered and up, I go out to my backyard where I have chickens. These are the hens of Hollywood. And you know what? It's cool having chickens. Do you know how I know it's cool? Because it tells me in old school media. Washington Post tells me I'm cool. It is the latest status. Also, I get fresh eggs, which is great because I've got a friend coming over for breakfast, and it's a studio scriptwriter. I get bonus points here because I managed to get both kale and quinoa into one meal. Very LA appropriate. And she comes over and she's really upset. So she's a scriptwriter, and some bright spark gave an AI all the scripts from the studio. They cross-referenced that with Rotten Tomatoes, and guess what? AI is coming up with better scripts. It turns out that robots do steal jobs. So after that, we calm her down, we start looking at new jobs, and I go out and I meet a talent agent. And we're a startup, and we're looking for celebrity endorsements. Celebrities don't endorse anymore. Oh, no, no, no. They want to be co-founders. They want equity. We don't entirely like that at the startup. We don't agree with 20%. So we decide to opt for influencers. We go have a chat to YouTube. We meet with a bunch of influencers. They're well connected with their audience. A lot cheaper. It works really well. That's sorted. So on to my next meeting. I hop on a bird. The bird is, in fact, a scooter. This company was started in Santa Monica. I believe it's the fastest company to get to $1 billion valuation. Very great method of transportation and avoids cars, which we need in LA. And I go down to Silicon Beach and I meet up with a startup there, only to realize that they've just been acquired, which is a bit of a bugger. Well, it's great because there's more money going into the ecosystem, but they've moved to Pasadena, and I am not dealing with that traffic on the 405. So we rescheduled for a couple of weeks, and I realized, great, I've got a bit of downtime, so let's do a bit of a pick-me-up. Do I, A, go for the IV B12 drip, or do I go for cryotherapy? Because it is very good freezing yourself, honestly. Look how much fun it is. Excellent bit. Next up, I've got a VR movie that's come out, and I go watch that, and then, of course, the press conference is in VR as well, so that anyone from around the world can join. Only California's 9 hours behind everyone else, so no one else does. I realize I haven't done any sport. I'm checking my rings on my Apple Watch and realize that I need to go boxing. So in one of these, I'm boxing a real person. In the other one, I am boxing a hologram in my front room. The latter is clearly a lot easier, but not quite as good exercise. It's been an exhausting day, so I then pop over to MedMen, which I'm sure you all know is the Apple store of cannabis. And I buy myself a few edibles, bit of chocolate, very nice, starting to relax, and then just walking home, I look up at the sky and I see this. I think, shit, maybe I took a little bit too much. This is slightly worrying. Is this a UFO? Is it a nuke attack? So I pop onto Twitter and have a look and see, am I the only one seeing this? This looks a little bit crazy. And then I get an email from, a tweet from Eric Garcetti, the mayor. It's Elon Musk playing a little joke on us from SpaceX. He decides to launch a rocket and not tell any Angelinos, as you'll see from this first comment. We're all slightly scared. We thought we might be nuked. Anyway, it's been an exhausting day, so it's time for bed. If you want to talk more about LA tech innovation, you can find me on most platforms at Jodi Hop, and you can also follow the chickens at the Hens of Hollywood. Thank you so much.